Gemini, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Gemini love reading. Now, if this is your first time here and you have questions that you want answered about your romantic love life or your relationship, then start now by subscribing and clicking on that little bell icon. That way you always get notified anytime I post a new Gemini tarot reading for you. Now let's get on with this Gemini love reading today, because today we are going to take a look at how your romantic person of interest really feels about you here in October 2022. Then we're going to take a look at what this person is thinking about you and what their intentions are toward you for October. And then we're going to finish up by getting some insight into what this person's most likely actions are going to be toward you. What a person intends to do and what they end up following through with and actually doing sometimes are very different things, so we're going to look at both. Then when we're finished looking at your person, I'm going to get you some advice, Gemini, on how to navigate the situation you're finding yourself in with this person for October 2022. That way you know exactly what to do moving forward from here. So let's get started with this Gemini love reading today, and let's get 3 cards for how does Gemini's romantic person of interest really feel about Gemini moving through October 2022, please. Let's get 3 cards. How does Gemini's person really feel about them? Okay, let's get one more. How does Gemini's person of interest really feel? Okay, there we go. Now, on the bottom of the deck, underlying this person's feelings about you, Gemini, we have the 4 of Pentacles. So this is Capricorn energy of holding on tightly to something and not wanting to let go of it. Now, this can sometimes represent financial stability, but this is looking at their feelings, not their finances. So this is them feeling like holding on tightly to you and not wanting to let go of you. I've got the Queen of Pentacles right under that. This is more Capricorn energy. This is the centerpiece of the home and the family life. This is someone, it's usually like a mother figure or a wife figure or a fiance, or like the person that I'm trying to build my life around, trying to build my world around. She's one half of the 2 people that work together as equals to build that 10 of Pentacles that we all want. The maximum stability and abundance and the combining together of 2 people or 2 families and all their assets and resources in order to become one. This would be the person who manages that, who that is all built around. So they're feeling about you as if you are the person that they want to build their life around. They're wanting to hold on tightly to you and not let go of you. I don't necessarily think that they are with you right now, though. I've got the 9 of Cups under that. This is Pisces energy. This is sometimes a card of wish fulfillment, but this is a singles energy, and it's about being emotionally single. It's about like taking care of themselves emotionally. So I'm feeling like there's a detachment from you here. They're physically wanting to hold on to you and not let go. Probably would be their wish fulfillment to build their world around you. But I'm feeling like that you guys aren't together yet. Yeah, that not only are they feeling that you would be their wish fulfillment, I have the Sun right under that, a Leo major arcana card. This is the happiest card in the deck. It's happiness, joy, abundance, bliss, harmony. Really hard to get a better card than that. So this is them feeling like you are a source of happiness in their life, feeling like the connection with you brings happiness to them. Probably feeling the gravity of what they feel for you. Like if you look at how our solar system is put together, the Sun is in the center. It's got all the gravity and all the planets are stuck in the Sun's orbit. So this is them viewing you and feeling about you that same way. Source of happiness, and there's so much gravity, so much pull to you that they probably feel like they can't let go of this. It would be their wish fulfillment to have something related to you. Now, in their actual feelings that came out for you, Gemini, we got the 6 of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Page of Wands. The 6 of Pentacles is Taurus energy. This is a card of balance. It's generosity. It's reciprocity. Like you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. You take care of me, I'll take care of you. This is usually a card of equal give and take, trying to balance the connection back out. Next, central to their feelings for you is the Magician. This is the Mac Daddy Master Manifester of the Tarot deck. It's someone who has all the tools, abilities, and resources to manifest or create from nothing whatever it is their will desires. He's got all 4 aces on the table. The aces are the ones of the 4 suits. Those 4 ones would be 1111, which is not just the number on my t-shirt and my coffee mug here. It's the number of manifesting. It's about your person actively trying to manifest something, feeling like trying to manifest something with you. This is about a person's thoughts and their actions creating the world around them. Final card in their feelings for you, Gemini, is the Page of Wands. Pages are messengers, so this would be news and messages and communication about passion, about desire, about what it is that they want. This is also the minor arcana version of the Fool. The Fool is that energy of just saying, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take the blind leap of faith. I don't need to know what all the steps are. I don't need to know how this is going to work out as the final outcome before I take that first step. I'm just going to leap off the cliff, throw caution to the wind, and I'll worry about how to grow wings on my way down. I'll figure this out as I move along. This is them feeling a much more toned down version of that energy. This is more about feeling like taking the very first step on something, like having the willingness to take the very first step on something that there's passion and desire for. So they're feeling like manifesting something with you, feeling like taking that first step. It looks like what they're trying to manifest with you is balancing a connection with you back out, holding on tightly, trying to get to that spot where they can have you as the centerpiece of the world that they're trying to build. That's their feelings. Let's take a look at what they're thinking about you. What is this person thinking about Gemini as we move through October 2022, please? Get 3 cards on what they're thinking. Okay, thank you. Come here. Yep. On the bottom of the deck, underlying their thoughts about you, Gemini, the Wheel of Fortune. In terms of zodiac signs, this would represent the 4 fixed signs. So Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. I think I've said Leo a couple of times now. I've got a Taurus card out as the first card in their energy. I saw that 9 of Cups a little bit ago, which is Pisces energy. I've seen 2 Capricorn energies. I've got some more, what could be Taurus, what could be Libra, Leo. You could be dealing with any of those signs, any of the fixed signs. You could literally be dealing with any sign. It's going to be almost impossible for me to tell who you are dealing with as an individual person because I'm not tapping into your specific energy. In this reading, I'm tapping into the collective energy of a large group of Gemini people that I'm responsible for getting messages for. So I'm just going to call all the signs that stick out to me, that way in case they have any meaning to you. But this Wheel of Fortune is the 4 fixed signs. This card can represent divine timing. It can represent the Wheel of Fate, the Wheel of Destiny. So this can represent a fated event. It can represent a change in the luck and fortune for your person, or for the connection, or for what's going on between the two of you. In other words, if things have been going bad, this could be them thinking about turning the wheel the other way and making them go good. If they were going good before, and this could be that wheel turning the other way and things going to hell in a handbasket, and now that's underlying all their thinking about you. This can even represent like the universe or spirit or source or God, or however you view that, turning this wheel in the background, trying to make sure things line up the way they're supposed to. That way what's supposed to happen can happen. And a lot of times that's what this card really is representing, is that what's supposed to happen is going to happen, and there's really not a lot that can be done about that. I think this is them trying to turn the situation with you around, or that being what's underlying and driving their thinking about you. I've got the Emperor right under that. This is an Aries Major Arcana card. This is an energy of taking control, taking charge of a situation. It's also a Master Manifester kind of an energy. It's not quite as potent as the Magician. This is the Mac Daddy Master Manifester. This is someone who has all the tools, abilities, and resources to put together a plan to get what they want, and then to execute that plan to get what they want. It's like taking control of something, taking charge of something, and trying to get what they want. Seven of Cups right under that. Scorpio energy of options and choices and confusion about the options and choices. There are a lot of cups here, a lot of different stuff in these cups, a lot of different ways this connection could work itself out, this situation could work itself out. And they're not wanting to make a mistake and pick the wrong cup. So they're having some confusion about what to do regarding turning this situation around with you and taking charge of it to get what they want. This is all underlying their thoughts about you, Gemini, in their actual thinking about you for October 2022. We have the Empress, Seven of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. Now, the Empress is the mother of the tarot deck. She is perpetually pregnant, so she's always giving birth to something. So for me, in a love reading, this represents the birth of something new, or what looks to be, in this case, the rebirth of a connection. That's what's the most prominent thing on their mind, trying to rebirth the connection, possibly thinking about you in terms of being this Empress energy here. Right under this Wheel of Fortune, I do have the Emperor, so we have the Emperor and the Empress here in this energy about your person's thoughts. This, like the King and Queen of Cups or the King and Queen of Wands would be a power couple. It would be two cards that are supposed to be together, which represents two people that are probably supposed to be together. The Empress represents all four queens of all four suits rolled up into one person. The Emperor would be all four kings rolled up into one person. So if the King and Queen of Cups are a power couple, this would be a power couple on steroids, at least in terms of how your person thinks about it. This Wheel of Fortune could be them thinking that this is what's supposed to happen. I'm supposed to be with you, Gemini. In the center of their thinking about you, we have the Seven of Wands. This is Leo energy of being defensive about something. It's about usually defending their position on something, defending their stance on something, being willing to fight for what they believe in, fight for what they desire, fight for this connection with you. Right above that, I have the Magician here, like trying to manifest what it is their will desires, trying to fight for the connection is what this looks like to me. Trying to turn things around because in their view of things, this is what's supposed to happen. We are supposed to be together. And I'm just a little confused as to about how to make that happen. Right under that, I've got the Ace of Swords, which can be the sword you would use to sever something. It could also be them trying to get some clarity out of this confusion of all these options and choices they have. I think this was severed in the past with you because right under that I have Death and the Devil, oh snap, and the Three of Swords. This Death card is the Scorpio Major Arcana card. This is an ending to something. This is something dying and then some painful transformation process occurring, where there's some transition period here, trying to go through some metamorphosis, some change so that something can be reborn again in a new, more beautiful way. First card in their thinking, the birth of a new connection. So there was some ending between the two of you. I think things were severed between the two of you. And this is them going through a painful transformation process, trying to probably overcome that ending. But I've got the Devil next, which is Capricorn's Major Arcana card. This is usually a heavy toxic energy. This can be obsession. This can be addiction. This can be a feeling of being trapped by something, feeling like they can't escape something, feeling controlled by something. The two people on the card are the same two people from the Lover's card, but here they have chains around their neck and they're chained to this podium the Devil sits on. But they also have started to grow horns and tails because being in this level of toxicity has started to affect them a lot. So it could be telling me that your person has some sort of a toxic energy about them, has some toxicity to them. This could also just represent a very heavy-duty attraction that they have to you, feeling like they can't escape the pull of this connection. They could feel like they're chained to you, like this is who I'm supposed to be with, and they're getting kind of obsessive in their thinking about it. This could be an element of your person's shadow. In other words, a piece of themselves that they don't like, a piece of themselves they didn't want you to see, and that they don't even want to see it themselves. So they kind of like pretend like it's not there. They shove it down into the shadows of themselves and try to repress it. The problem, if that's the case, is that devil toxic energy is there. Something needed addressed, something needed healed and dealt with, and it didn't get dealt with. It just got ignored and repressed. And then it started to create scenarios in their life where it's actually controlling elements of their life. We see this, something changed in this connection. We see this emperor energy. It's an energy of control, and the devil is an energy of control. But this could be someone who is presenting themselves as if they are the emperor, as if they are in control of things, when really, under the surface of all that, something else is in control of things. And it's possible that whatever this toxic thing is has caused some heartbreak and sadness in this connection here. This Three of Swords is Libra energy of heartbreak and sadness, usually from a third energy. Now, that third energy does not always have to be another person. It can totally represent a romantic third party being that third energy, causing a heartbreaking situation. When someone has some toxicity about them, they could definitely do things that would bring a third party in. But this doesn't have to be a third party romantically. It can be any other person that's not you, Gemini, that's not this person, that's sticking their nose where it doesn't belong, like nosy friends or nosy family members or any external person. Anything that we do enough of is going to start to pick up its own energy. So like my business has an energy that affects my life and the people closest to me. Your job, their job could be that third energy. It could be an addiction. We do have the devil here. It could be an addiction that's that third energy. This can literally be any number of things. Like if you're going to ask the question, well, could that third energy be blank? If you're asking the question, that could definitely be the third energy. But there's something that caused some sort of a heartbreaking situation. Got the 10 of Pentacles right under that, and the 9 of Pentacles right under that. This is most people's goal in the physical reality. It's the Virgo energy of like maximum stability and abundance and prosperity. It's the combining together of two people or two families and all their assets and resources, like combining lives together into one. But there was definitely a change to that, because the very next card is the 9 of Pentacles, going backwards a step. This is being combined together, and this is a singles energy of like being physically single. And right under that is the 6 of Cups, Scorpio's card of the past. Thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, thinking about the good old days and the way things used to be between the two of you. Can even represent someone from the past trying to make a comeback. This is all underlying their thinking about you. Now, we are in Mercury retrograde. Last I checked, there were 5 or 6 planets in retrograde right now. That retrogrades are about bringing stuff from the past back around again. So this could be your person thinking about trying to turn this whole situation around and trying to get back to you. Yeah, I've got the World next, which is the last card of the major arcana. It's the ending of one cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. If you guys are apart, they're trying to end that cycle and start a new cycle. Judgment right there is the next card. A final decision about the connection. Are we going to call it dead and over with, or can we resurrect this and bring it back to life? So this is all underlying your person's thinking. It looks like they're thinking about birthing something new with you, thinking about fighting for this connection. Final card in their thoughts is this Knight of Cups. Knights are action takers. Cups are about love and emotions. This is taking actions toward love and emotions, coming forward with romantic gestures, coming forward with romantic offers, love offers, asking you out, taking you out, trying to move forward with a love offer, move forward in a love connection. So this is what your person's thinking about as it relates to you in October 2022, Gemini. Let's take a look at what their intentions are toward you. What is this person's intentions toward Gemini as we move through October 2022, please? Got one flip in the deck. And that one, and that one. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, underlying their intentions for you, Gemini, 7 of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. I feel like I've said Taurus quite a bit, and Capricorn quite a bit, Leo a few times, seen a little bit of Pisces, some fixed sign energy. This is Taurus energy. This card represents taking a pause to reflect and take stock of this connection between the two of you, take stock of this entire situation between the two of you, And what they're doing here is looking at the seeds that were planted between the two of you. And they're trying to determine, are these seeds ever going to grow into that 10 of Pentacles that I really want, where we combine our lives together? Is this ever going to grow into that? Is this worth me continuing to invest my time and my effort and my energy into this? Or is this a spot where maybe it's not going to pan out the way I would like to see it, and maybe I should just cut my losses and move on? So this represents that period of time where they're pausing to reflect and think about and ask themselves those types of questions. They're intending to do that. They could actually be in that contemplative state right now. I think that's what's going on. I've got Temperance right under that Sagittarius major arcana energy of patience. It's about trying to blend things together to make something, but it's doing it in a patient way, doing it little bits at a time, and being willing to come back in and make some fine-tuning adjustments. This is not about dumping two buckets together all at once. It's about mixing a little bit here and there and adjusting it as they go. This is a card also of reconciliation. In tarot, water and cups represent love and emotions. And here in this card, the water, the love, has been separated into two different cups, and this angel is blending it back together, recombining the love into one. So this is telling me that your person is in this contemplative state right now. You may not be hearing from them all that much right now. If you are, they're still doing a lot of thinking about this and whether or not to continue investing. And I think at the end of that process, like they're being patient about it, but at the end of the process, I think they're intending to try to recombine the two of you back together. Yeah, once they're finished being patient with it, Knight of Swords, fastest knight in the deck. This is rushing forward and speaking the truth. It's rushing forward, taking some rapid, very decisive action on something. This ain't the dude that comes in fast and then sits down and reads the instruction manual to figure out what to do. This is the person who just comes in and they take the action and they do it and then they leave and they don't really think about it until after. So this is like just do it kind of an energy here. I feel like that's what your person's intending to do. But currently I feel like they're stuck in this contemplative state right now. In their actual intentions, I see more verification of that. I have the 9 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, and the 5 of Wands. This 9 of Swords is Gemini energy. This is fear, worry, anxiety, them thinking about something related to you, probably whether or not to continue investing here, whether or not we can fix this and put it back together or not. It's them thinking about that with so much fear and worry and anxiety behind their thinking that they're physically starting to stress themselves out. You can see the person has their face buried in their hands, their eyes are covered. They don't want to face the situation they're in because they think it's that bad. This is mental anguish. It can be like can't concentrate during the day on what they're trying to do, can't fall asleep at night, having nightmares, can't stay asleep at night. Just not a good energy to be in. What they're worried about is whether or not this can be fixed with you, whether this can be rebirthed with you. It's directly above this card, and the top of this column is the 6 of Pentacles balancing this out. They're worried about whether or not that is able to take place. Probably because of this card, the 6 of Swords is Aquarius energy of moving forward into calmer waters. It's about leaving these rough, choppy waters of the past behind and moving forward toward what it is they want. The card right before this is the 5 of Swords, which is some mentally or psychologically painful situation or event. It can be someone with a winning at all costs mentality. It can be a fight, argument, conflict in communicating, like bitter words being spoken, some painful situation. It can even represent a betrayal, and this card is the next step. It's about leaving that painful thing behind, moving away from the painful thing and forward toward what they want. Right now, they're definitely not in a pleasant spot, like mental, psychological anguish, worry, fear, stress. It's like trying to leave that behind, probably trying to leave what happened in the past between the two of you behind. I saw death, the devil, the 3 of Swords, leaving all that stuff in the past and moving forward. Directly above that is them wanting to or thinking about fighting for this connection and feeling like manifesting what they want with you, which looks to be balancing this out and being able to communicate with you and take the first step on something. The final card in their intentions, Gemini, is the Five of Wands. This is more Leo energy. Again, fives are conflict. Wands are about passion and desire. So this is a conflict in your person's desires. In other words, a piece of them wants one thing and another piece of them wants the opposite of that. And they're playing this internal battle of tug of war. They're conflicting with themselves in terms of what it is that they actually want. Probably because they're worried. What they want is to rebirth the connection with you, to be able to move forward in the connection with you, to balance this out and probably communicate with you to get you being willing to take the first step in that direction. They want to leave the past behind and move forward with you. But I think the contemplation about this and the fear and the worry and the stress about this is probably holding them up a little bit. That's probably why they're still in this contemplative state. But that's their intentions. I don't think that they're really intending to stay conflicted and intending to stay worried and intending to stay like trying to determine whether I should put my effort into this or not. I think they're really intending to try to balance this out, to recombine the two of you and leave the past in the past where it belongs and move forward. But what a person intends to do and then what they actually end up doing are sometimes very different things. So let's take a look at what this person's most likely actions are going to be toward you as we move through October 2022. What are this person's most likely actions going to be toward Gemini as we move through October? Okay, we got these, flip over. Got an extra card here. I normally get 3 for each of these, and they played along all the way until the end when we get to the actions. On the bottom of the deck, wow. Underlying the actions they're most likely to take. Death. The Scorpio Major Arcana card. We saw this before. This is an ending to something. This is something dying so that it can be reborn again in a new, more beautiful way. I feel like the connection with you did die, and they're trying to rebirth it. They're trying to put it back together. But this is supposed to be being born again in a new, more beautiful way. So look at a caterpillar. It's kind of like an ugly worm with hair on it. And it goes into a cocoon. When it comes out of that cocoon, it's not a caterpillar anymore. It's a beautiful butterfly instead. But the period of time when it was in that cocoon, it was not fun. It was a painful situation for that caterpillar. It was dying. It was being transformed into something entirely different. So much so that when it comes out of the cocoon, it's not a caterpillar, but it is a butterfly. So this can represent that painful transformation period where what they're going through sucks right now. The connection with you has died, and hopefully this painful transformation process your person goes through allows you guys to come out the other side better than you were before. Wheel of Fortune. That is probably what's supposed to happen. That's probably what was intended to happen by this painful situation in this transformation period. I think this is your person probably trying to take actions to overcome the ending and trying to turn the situation with you back around. Now this can also indicate divine timing. We saw that Temperance card. Patience, doing things nice and slow. The Emperor right under that. This could be them stepping into their power, taking control of something, taking charge of the situation, trying to be, again, the counterpart to you, like the counterpart of the power couple on steroids, like trying to be that again. I do have Gemini energy here of the King of Swords right under that. This could also be Aquarius energy, but this is a decision-making energy. This is someone who's very smart and logical and rational and a very thinking-oriented person. This is someone who, when they make their decisions, though, is completely emotionally detached. It's not that they don't have emotions, they just don't want to use their emotions when they decide things, which can make them feel like cold or cold and calculated even. But this is someone who, when they decide things, they're looking at the truth, and the facts of the matter. What's right in front of me? What's in black and white? What are the numbers, so to speak? Let me do the math on all this and see if it adds up correctly or not. And I'll decide based on what I can see, not what I can feel. This is head over heart decision making. This might actually represent your energy, and it might be telling me that you are in control of that decision making, and that you are semi-emotionally detached here, and that you are not necessarily accessing your emotions, but accessing the truth and the facts of what happened to cause this ending, to cause this big shift between the two of you already. This could be saying, underlying your person's actions, this is already dead and over with, and they're trying to turn that around, but you are actually the one that's in control of whether or not it can be turned around, whether or not it can be reborn in a better way. That could be why your person is stuck in their head worrying about it. Could be why your person is internally conflicted, because while they want to fight for this connection and they're thinking about doing that so it can move forward, it could be that you have already left them in the past and moved away from them and have moved forward on your own, and they're conflicted because they want to get you back, but they're not sure if they can. Now, in their actual most likely actions that came out for you, Gemini, we have the Devil, the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. I'm not really digging this. I've got an ending here on the bottom of the deck underlying all of this, some big shift that took place. This is probably like things were going good and then it went to hell in a handbasket. That's what killed it. I've got two more completion cards here at the end. And a Devil at the beginning. This is Capricorn's major arcana card. Heavy, toxic energy. This is, again, obsession, addiction, a feeling of being trapped by something, feeling like they can't escape something, feeling controlled by something, or actually being controlled by something. Again, this Emperor is an energy of them being in control, or possibly you being in control. That could be what's going on. They feel controlled because they're stuck to you. They can't get off of you. They can't detach from you. They feel like compelled to you. But they're not the one in control, you are, and that's making them feel controlled, feel out of balance. This could also represent a toxic element of your person. The very next card is the Ace of Wands. Aces are opportunities, they're new beginnings. This would be an opportunity for passion and desire, a new beginning in passion and desire, a passionate new beginning. This looks like a case of someone that you've been with previously and they're trying to fix things and get back with you. So this could represent re-sparking the passion and the desire and the connection with you, re-sparking the connection itself. But this is the wand, and the wand in tarot is like the phallic symbol of the deck. It represents the male phallus, using it to be intimate, sex, sexual energy, sexual drive. When it's sitting right next to the Devil, this can indicate someone who is controlled by their wand, controlled by their sexual urges and impulses. The deep-seated stuff below the surface is related to wands for this person. I'm looking, I have a wand in their first column in their feelings. I have a wand in the center of their thoughts. I have wands at the end of their intentions. And I've got two wands here in what they're most likely to do. This could be a case of, like, if you were together, the thing that caused the problem that they're worrying about, the thing that caused this leaving something behind and moving forward away from pain, could be related to the wand. Now, it could be that this person's just obsessing about you and they're wanting to re-spark this connection. So you just got to take this however it resonates for you. But when I look up this column, I got the wand, trying to leave the past in the past, or the potential that you have already left them behind and are moving forward, and them wanting to fight for it and them wanting to manifest you back. This could be a part of what the person's painful transformation process is. It could be them not wanting to look at this situation. That's another meaning for the Devil. Something they don't want to see about themselves that was controlling things, possibly the wand, and that could be what killed the connection. And this is going through the transformation process of, like, trying to figure out how to change myself so that this thing isn't controlling my actions anymore, isn't causing me this mental anguish and all this conflict in my connections anymore. The problem I'm seeing is this 10 of Swords, Gemini energy. It's a 10, it's a completion, it's an ending. This is a swift, painful ending. Sometimes this is an ending that they didn't see coming or that you didn't see coming, hence the swords being in this person's back. If they would have saw that coming, they'd be in their front. This can also be an ending in betrayal, hence the swords in the back, getting stabbed in the back by someone close to you, getting betrayed. That could be related directly to the wand. This could be your person realizing now, like, that they were on this repeating cycle here. There was a lesson that they needed to learn. Whenever I have the devil and the wheel of fortune together like this is usually the karmic hamster wheel. This is like that lesson that they were supposed to be learning, that karmic lesson, and they didn't learn it. So now they stayed attached to that toxic element, and now they're repeating the lesson again. It would be like failing 3rd grade because you screwed off. So now you got to repeat 3rd grade, only you screw off all year again, and now you got fail and got to repeat it again. And it's like doing that over and over and over and not ever learning the lesson that they were supposed to learn. This could be a repeating pattern that your person runs here, where they keep killing connections and they keep putting up this facade that they're in control, even convincing themselves that they're in control, when really something under the hood is in control. And it's possible that you see that, which is why you are in control of what happens here. Hopefully this is your person realizing that about themselves and then putting an ending to that. We see that the sky is black, it's pitch black, it's darkness, just like it is here. It's a dark time, but notice that the darkness is rising here, and it's exposing the water and the horizon and the skyline in the background. This is like the dawn of a new day. What's that saying? It's always darkest right before the dawn. This could have been that dark period that they went through, and this is the ending of that period, like the ending of that cycle. Hopefully that's what this is talking about, that this is that coming to an end, and then the dawn of a new day happening. Final card in their most likely actions toward you, Gemini, is the 10 of Wands. This is Sagittarius energy. This is a heavy burden that your person's been carrying. This devil energy, definitely a heavy burden. 9 of Swords, definitely heavy shit. Internal conflict where a piece of you wants something really bad, but then there's this other piece of them that just like is pulling in the opposite direction, and they can't get anywhere because they're in conflict with themselves. They're in conflict with those pieces of themselves that they've repressed and not dealt with, and it's causing pain and distress. Hopefully this is that coming to an end. This is also a 10, which is also a completion. So this is supposed to be the spot where your person lays this burden down that we just talked about and can move forward without it. The very first card in a person's energy is always the most important, and their first card and how they feel related to you is balancing things out. So having all the tools and abilities to create what it is that they want, and then having the willingness to take the first steps on that. So I'm hoping that this is your person getting past the previous toxic stuff that was going on, that was running the show in the background for them. But that's your person here in October 2022, Gemini. Let's take a look at some advice for you on how you should navigate the situation you find yourself in with this person in October 2022. What should you do? What should you not do? How should you play this in the way so that things work out in the way that's best for you? That way you know what to do moving forward when this person comes to you. What's the advice for Gemini, please? Let's get 3 cards. We're not taking all of this. We'll take the ones that are upright. I will look at these and explain to you what they mean, but I'm not going to keep them out here in the advice. Bottom of the deck here, 10 of Wands. We just got done talking about the 10 of Wands. Sagittarius energy, the heavy burden that you've been carrying based on this person. This is a 10. This is a completion. This is the spot where you are supposed to lay the heavy burden down and move forward without it. we're going to look at the rest of this and see what's come out here. Before I go, what's underlying that? I got the Wheel of Fortune, which we just saw for your person. I got the Three of Swords and the Two of Wands. Okay. This is the ending of something for you, some burden that you're carrying. This is you supposed to put the burden down. This burden that you've been carrying, Wheel of Fortune, this has been a karmic lesson for you. The burden wasn't placed on you for no damn reason. It was designed to teach you a lesson, to teach you something that you needed in order to be able to ascend to the next level, to get what's right under this heavy burden, which is the Sun, the happiest card in the deck. This burden was placed to teach you a lesson on how to get to your own happiness. Had you not gone through this with this person, you wouldn't have known how to get to happiness or what happiness was or something to that effect. This is some change in your life here based on being able to lay a burden down, based on learning the lesson. I'm getting called back to the Six of Swords and their intentions. It's in the center of their intentions. This is about moving away from some painful thing and moving forward toward what you want. It's about leaving something behind, leaving it in the past where it belongs and moving forward toward what you want. The painful situation that occurred has already happened. There's nothing that you can do about the painful situation. Your choice in the matter, when you leave it behind and move forward, the choice you have is, am I going to carry forward with me the burdens that pain caused? Or am I going to learn the lesson that pain taught me and carry the lesson forward with me so that when I move forward, I can actually get to what it is that I want? What you want and what's meant for you is happiness, joy, bliss, harmony. You can't get a better card than that. Now, part of this lesson that you learned here, part of the burden that you've been carrying is this Three of Swords. This is Libra energy of heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. Again, it doesn't have to be a romantic third party, although it could be. I've got cards out here that could indicate that. This could be the Merchant, which would be your person giving to two. Right below that, I have the Empress. This could have been them giving to two by birthing something new with someone that wasn't you, and then having all this fear, worry, and anxiety about that, having this devil toxic energy control them. I do have the wand sitting right next to that. That can be someone who's controlled by their wand, controlled by their sexual desires, have some sort of addiction in that regard. I've got right up here in their central of their feelings, the Magician. This is about someone's thoughts and actions creating the situation that's in their life. This is like making your bed and then being forced to sleep in the bed that you've made and not feeling good about that. I've got a Page of Wands, which could be news and messages and passionate communications that didn't necessarily go to you. This Knight of Cups could be them offering a cup of love somewhere else because they were conflicted about, well, part of me wants Gemini, but part of me wants this other person. And that could be what caused the ending. So again, I don't have anything out here that specifically tells me, yes, 100% there was a third party involved here. But I have hints that I can't close that door of possibility. This doesn't have to be a romantic third party. It could be any other person that's not you, Gemini, that's not them, that stuck their nose where it didn't belong. It could just be this toxic devil energy that your person was carrying was the third energy that caused heartbreak and sadness. It could be any number of things. So whatever you feel like this third energy was, you're right. This is part of where your intuition comes in. I get the messages. You have to decide how that resonates for your specific situation. But there was definitely a burden you carried with the intention of teaching you a lesson. Heartbreak and sadness was a piece of that lesson that you needed to learn in order to get to the Sun, the happiness. And you are going to be at a choice. This Two of Wands is Aries energy of a fork in the road. A crossroads in your life, a crossroads in this connection, a decision point for you. And it's a decision for you about which path leads you to the world you really desire. What is it that you really want for your life? And which path do you have to leave behind in order to get there? You are at that choice. And I feel like the choice is you're at the completion of the burden. Are you going to lay the burden down and move forward without it and carry forward the lessons with you into the future? Or are you going to continue to carry this burden and prevent yourself from getting to the happiness that's coming to you? That's the stuff that kind of jumped out as something additional that needed said. Your actual advice that came out. 8 of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, 6 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is Virgo energy of work. It's putting in the work, putting in the time, the effort, and the energy in order to get what you want, or having the willingness to put in that work, time, effort, and energy. And you see there's one person on the card working by themselves, protecting the things that are important to them. He's protecting his dog, he's protecting his little pet squirrel, he's protecting his pentacles, his finances, his stability. This is him putting in the work to protect what matters to him in the physical world. Central to your advice is the Hanged Man. This is Pisces energy of progress being halted, no forward movement happening, things being stuck and stagnant and at a dead standstill. Now, the Hanged Man is about looking at things from a different perspective, a different point of view than you would normally look at things from. And it's about trying to figure out how to get unstuck so that you can move forward. But where the focus is in this card is external to you, which tells me that the thing that had you stuck, or that currently has you stuck, or previously had you stuck, was not you. It was something external to you. Your instructions are to put in the work to protect you and what's important to you, and that the thing that had all of this stuck was not you, it was outside of you. There was a burden you were carrying that probably wasn't your burden. It was probably this person's burden. It was probably the ending that this person brought around based on potentially following their wand. And they're wanting another chance. They're wanting to rebirth this and try to bring it back from the dead. But these cards are telling me that it is dead. There has already been a change. This was a lesson for you that you needed to learn in order to get to your happiness. The final card in your advice is the 6 of Pentacles, which is the first card that was out in your person's energy. It's Taurus energy of balance. It's about balancing things out. It's about generosity, reciprocity, equal give and take. I think this is saying, hey, before you put work in on continuing something that was a burden, before you put work in on repeating the same cycle that led you to the heartbreak and sadness, remember that you have a choice to make here. What is it that really matters to you? What is it that you want for your life? Is it happiness? Is it burden? Is it happiness? Is it toxicity? It's time to put those things on the scale here and figure out what it is that you actually want. Was this connection with this person really balanced? Was it really equal give and take? Or did you pull more weight in it than they did? Did they do more to pull things back and get it stuck? Or were they trying to carry it as much as you were? Were they putting in as much work and time, effort, and energy in this connection as you were? My guess is no, it wasn't balanced. Otherwise, they wouldn't be now trying so hard to balance it out and so worried, but still having all this toxic energy here and this ending and the death and like this facade of being in control when they're not really in control. You are. You're the one here that has the choice. You're the one that gets to make the decision. And before you make it, learn your lesson. Think about the heartbreak and sadness, the burden that they've made you carry, and decide, do you still want to carry that, or are you willing to do the work required to balance your own life out and get yourself unstuck so that you can get the happiness that was really meant for you? Now, if you still have questions you want answered about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Gemini love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.